WASZAM, everybody. This is LaZulEanna, the Angel of LaWizIanna. And that is my way of saying I am LaZulEanna, the blue gold book in the temple of heaven. And Louisiana is Louisiana, the place of magic. So let's get started. I want to do this video really quick. I don't want to do, I just started a channel on YouTube because I've been having so many problems over the years trying to do videos, even audios on other platforms. And it's just, I got sick of it. So I said, I'm going to try YouTube. But I want to start my videos off really short because I know a lot of people have a short attention span and I'm still getting used to this. So anyway, this particular video, I want to talk about our ancient language. And I'm bringing you this information from the information that from two sources from my remembrance, my from when I was an oracle, my remembrance um to the days when I was an oracle, and also from my matriarch in the Mississippi Mounds, who came to visit me recently, not too long ago, and opened doors of communication. Okay, so like I've been saying over the years on my Facebook posts, nothing is as it seems. I know a lot of people be confused about what I be talking about when I say I'm the firstborn daughter of Ninma, which is Het Heru. Um, and when I talk about the fountain, it's gonna become clearer over time as I start doing more videos. But I'm speaking of the realm of the enchanted waters. Okay, and so this is something that I've been connected to since I came here to this world. And I never ever forgot about it. I just forgot certain details about it. But anyway, what I be trying to explain to people is the confusion when the gods or the galactic leaders confounded the languages, the confusion that's keeping our people stuck with a lot of information and about who we are and who's American, who's not, who's African, who's not, have a lot to do with the language, and the fact that um, we exist in a separate place, but we exist here in a created or simulated world. And from us in the simulated world, other worlds were created that followed. So we had the 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 second world that was created, which is the same as this world, but on the mirror side. So it's like the inverted side of who we are. So you have the North America, you have the Gulf in the middle, which is the mirror, and then you have South America. So South America will be like the mirror reflection of North America. So it's two worlds, but it's one. It's one two worlds in one. You know what I'm saying? And from these two worlds came the people of the Caribbean. Okay? And so then someone decided they wanted to create a world in the likeness of the gods in America. So they didn't want just an extension of the second world. They wanted to completely copy the first world, which is North America. And so this is where you hear of people saying how, people wanted to be like the gods or whatever. And so the language was confounded or whatever. But it was the galactic, the higher ups that actually was doing, the foolishness of confusing and stuff like that and copying. you know it's never been an American thing to be copying and biting other people's style, right? So anyway, the galactic tribal leader that wanted to copy the American blueprint literally took everything about the first world, America, and made his own version of it. So the first two worlds, which was divided by the waters of the Gulf, the mirror. For the third world that was created, which is being called Africa right now, that's literally why it's called the third world. A lot of people have taken it to mean, and they allowed people, the ones that know in the higher realms, they allowed everybody to just beef and argue and feel offended at the thought of the third world, meaning a place that's poor and, just raggedy. You know what I'm saying? When really it's literally a third created world. Okay, so the third world, Africa, was uh created using the American blueprint, when what they did was a double inversion. So whereas the second world, which is South America, on the South American side of the Gulf, was the inversion of the first world, the third world is a double inversion, meaning it doubled the doubled the mirror and then flipped on the other side. So that's why you have at the people at the bottom of Africa who believe that they are the mother of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Because it was double inverted. So the Zulu people believe that they are the create the the motherland of everyone, when they are just the motherland of the third world program. And this is why they had the beef recently with New Orleans, because New Orleans is a part of the motherland of North America. It's actually New Orleans and Mississippi combined. So that's like the parents of the parent land. I'll say the parent land. America wasn't a mother without a it wasn't a single mother. You know what I'm saying? America didn't have a baby daddy. America had a father to her children. So Louisiana and Mississippi was the parents in the motherland, the first world motherland, that is North America. Okay. And so when they confounded the language, they really wanted to make sure we don't never remember nothing. So we just been constantly, with all the research that's being done in the conscious community that have been done, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff has been um accomplished, and we got to be grateful to all the people who added to the puzzle, you know what I'm saying? But they wanted to make sure that they keep us stuck in this world programming that nobody don't know about, is what's keeping people stuck. And people look at me crazy when I try to tell them that's what the jed pillar represents. The jed pillar represents those different worlds. So when you see those four little slots, that's four memory cards. Literally, that's like four storage spaces, four memory cards for those worlds, you know what I'm saying? And so if you can imagine a computer that has a slot for a SD card, imagine a computer that has a slot for multiple SD cards, or let's say four SD cards. You know what I'm saying? Them first two will be North America, South America, and then that third one would be the third world, Africa. So it really wasn't a word that was intended to offend um people in Africa when they say the third world, but certain people have led it to become that. Now, when they was confusing the languages, what they did when they created that third world, they literally took everything from North and South America, but mostly North America. And so when you have the ancient Egyptian civilization, like, y'all wonder why people be saying, "Oh, Americans, oh, they try to claim everything. They don't know who they are. They lost. They don't know who they are. They try to claim the Moors. They try to claim South Africa. They try to claim the Egyptians. They claim the Babylonians. They claim this." That's because we are all those things. We were the first of those things. So everything about those uh, ancient civilizations that you see as great empires and stuff, they started out in the Americas. That's where they started at. And so let's talk about Egypt. Why conscious people have gravitated to Egypt? Because there's that inner knowing in North America that we have a connection to Egypt. Now, America, the whole, was not Egypt, but what it is the North America um, had multiple tribes in the beginning that was put into the first world program, right? But all of these tribes were people that was connected in some way, but they was mainly divided into two civilizations, and that is the Egypt what we call the culture of the Egyptians and the culture of the Mayans. So those two we'll look at it from the perspective of the feathered serpent. So they both had the falcons and eagles, and then they both had the serpent. And then we had the waters, right? Okay, and so in the beginning of this first world program, we had um, Egypt throughout the tribes and stuff. So, okay, matter of fact, Louisiana, a lot of Louisiana, I'm gonna say a lot of Louisiana is Egyptian, while a lot of Mississippi is Mayan. And these are two bloodlines that created families together, tribes together. And so when they created these tribes, the tribes is like, if you look in the Mayan culture, they will say it's Mayan is the place of many trees, but the trees is the tribes is the trees. You know what I'm saying? So those are talking about bloodlines. Okay, so when Louisiana, everybody has heard of the Washita. Well, the Washita is the same in the Washita in the first world is what you would call Waset in the third world. And so there's another area in Louisiana called Ponchatoula, and we also have the lake Pontchartrain. These are significant spaces in Louisiana, Pontchartrain and Ponchatoula. And so when you hear about the lost Egyptian civilization of Punt, this is the lost civilization of Punt. This area around the Pontchartrain Lake, around Lake Pontchartrain in Louisiana, that's connected to the so-called lost city of Punt in the third world Egypt, which is in Africa. Okay, so our people are people that see, we don't really connect to words, we connect to the sounds in the words, and we have kind of gotten from that in our quest for knowledge. We be so busy looking into words in etymology and stuff, but the stuff be right there in our face through the sound. See, we are an intuitive people by nature. Everything about us is sound, even the things dealing with our geography. That's why you hear the terms like Mississippi sound, the Louisiana sound. You hear about that in geography, and you hear about that in music, because the pioneers of the American music is in Louisiana sounds and Mississippi sounds, right? Okay, so everything about our people is in sounds. So I don't want to be too long on this video, but I want to say this: the some of the ways that you can look at the connections where the third world duplicates the first world is in the names. Listen to the sounds of the names. So in Egypt, you have Saqqara, Egypt. In Louisiana, that's Zachary. Saqqara is Zachary in Louisiana. You have Nakada in the third world Egypt. Over here in Louisiana, Egypt, you have Nakadish. In the third world Africa, Egypt, you have Luxor. In the first world, that would be Biloxi. In the third world Egypt, you have Abydos. In the first world Louisiana, and that would be Abita. Abydos would be Abita. In the third world, you have Waset, and in the first world, you have Washita. Now, even Waset, on both sides of the water, you have directly on the North American side of the Gulf, you have Washita, and in the same space on the opposite side of the water, you have Wastika. See, it's the mirror. The Gulf is the mirror. So Waset in ancient Egypt of the third world is on both sides of the Gulf, one as Washita, one as Wastika. So the names just keep repeating and repeating, and it's not just in Egypt; it's in other parts too. There's also in the third world Egypt, there's El Fayam, and over here in Louisiana is Lafayette. You know what I'm saying? There's over there they have Tanganyika, and over here we have Tangipahoa. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the language um in America in the South is a um a merging of Egyptian and Mayan. We have like a Egyptian Mayan mixed language and culture. You know what I'm saying? And so once people can start realizing that what I'm saying is really true and start really thinking about it, like we'll get a lot of we'll be able to move forward a lot from the confusion which is caused by the confounding the the when I say that was so evil of them to try to confound the language though, but they did it so thoroughly. But guess what? The great mother said, "Oh no, my baby, you about to bust it wide open. You about to bust it wide open." So I'm giving y'all the first steps to breaking this confusion apart. It's in the sounds. It's in the sounds. Even like with the tribes, like there's other in other parts of the world, like you have a place somewhere called Guinea-Bissau. That's the same over here as Quinapisa. It's the same as Quinapisa, Guinea-Bissau, Quinapisa. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Not even so far as Greco-Roman. When you hear Greco-Roman in this third world history, you're hearing the words in the first word of Creek. Greco would be Creek, and Roman, they double inverted it. So it went backwards. They didn't just shift the letters, they went backwards. So Roman would have been Na Amru or Na Amor, Na Amor, which would be like the house of the Amor or the Amaru. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's this is like the beginning of how to crack the code on this confusion that they did with our people with this language. And so I'm LaZulEanna, the Injil, which means the revelation. I'm LaZulEanna, the blue gold book, Injil of Louisiana. And I say Louisiana because Louisiana is connected to the realm of the magic. It's the it's the realm of is one of the biggest gates in the um gates to the enchanted waters. You know what I'm saying? And so when y'all hear me talk about my mother, I'm talking about the great mother, the one who uh the one who created this enchanted water. When I talk about the fountain, when I talk about things like that, like I'm trying to bring up terms that's gonna bring a memory to people. I probably only can I may in the beginning only be able to get through to certain people like other Sibyls, because I used to be I was a one of the Cumaen Sibyls. And there wasn't just one. The Sibyls, we went through different we didn't just like how they say the Cumaen Sibyl or the Delphine Sibyl. I keep saying it wrong. Or they might say the Eritrean Sibyl. I keep saying it wrong. There wasn't just one. It was certain locations that the certain multiple Sibyls would meet at or go to, and the Sibyls weren't just going to the Sibyls was also dealing with time travel too. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually, energetically. So we would be at different locations. You know what I'm saying? So I think in this time, it may have to be some of the other Sibyls that can understand what I'm saying before other people. But I just want to put this message out here. Like I've been trying for the last few years, and I've been getting blocked, and my stuff been getting deleted. TikTok won't let me post it. This one won't let me post it. It's just been a huge mess. So I'm putting it out there that it's gonna go through, and that y'all who needs to hear it will hear it. So this is just one small little video that I did on the topic, and I want y'all to really think about what I'm saying. Peace.